All right, hi, this is the video for Wednesday, March 10th for 12th grade English. Today we're looking at investigations some more, but we're looking at it from a totally different perspective. So we're closing out the unit's piece on crime, on things that are a little more extreme, and we're looking at advertising. We're going to start today with advertising products and the ways that you can be more savvy as a consumer. And then tomorrow we'll look at advertising of self, of personal brand. So in order to do the slides, click on them here, in order to do the lesson, that is. And we're going to take you through a couple of activities in order to make sense of what this STEM is for today. If you see this here, week 6, day 1, you're in the right place, products and advertising. So I'm going to say on the next couple of slides, this is investigations. It's good for us to be knowledgeable about advertising, but today it's about when it's harmless. We're looking at investigations these 9 weeks. How do we know if a pilot is ready to fly an airplane? How do you know whether or not you should put a net on the back of your pickup truck? These are things that we think about, we research a little bit in order to find the best possible solution for ourselves. So we're trying to avoid this problem of the way that as human beings, we just naturally form opinions before we have evidence. And that is true in advertising. We might find products, commercials, before we really ask ourselves what that commercial is trying to get us to think. We're going to look at a few effective commercials. Your task is to figure out how the commercial is working on you to persuade you. So in class, we just spent 5 minutes finding commercials that we really liked, and then we watched them for like 15. And so you miss this if you're watching the video, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the process. I'll recommend you click on this one. This is the Doritos commercial that was done at the Super Bowl. It's got an allusion to Old Town Road. So it's kind of a good example of a great commercial that's fun and everything like that. But when you ask yourself, what is Doritos wanting me to do here? You're going to find some interesting answers. And then we looked at these examples of Dr. Squatch soap and where that came from.
Your underarms are
I can't show you, I'm afraid, because of copyright, but you can go through the slideshow and click on these. The whole idea that Dr. Squatch is capitalizing on started here with Old Spice. So in order to understand that, we read this article. And I'm going to read this part to you on the video because I can. You should watch the commercials. They're fun and they kind of give meaning to what I'm about to read. So we're trying to understand, what are commercials trying to do? What is the intent of the marketer? Well, to get you to buy something. And they're going to try 1,000 different ways to get into your mind so that you want to buy this product. So we're going to get inside of Old Spice just a little here. Oops, sorry. All right, so 5-6 years ago, that's when this article was published. Do you need a way to change the way consumers view your product? Looking at successful marketing campaigns of the past is a great start. One in particular to model is Old Spice. So here's your Old Spice guy. Prior to their 2010 Super Bowl commercial, Old Spice had been known as a company that sells deodorant and body wash to your grandfather. And that was due to the way they marketed their product, trying to catch that audience. After realizing the need to increase market share, Old Spice launched a marketing campaign directed towards the younger generation, and the response was tremendous. They showed this attractive man telling a female audience their man could smell like him if he uses Old Spice. Within 30 days of this campaign's launch, Old Spice had 40 million views on YouTube and then a 107 increase in body wash sales. So the bottom line increased. They were able to generate more money, more revenue because of this decision, which is, of course, their goal. We're just going to read this first paragraph here together. What are the takeaways from the campaign, you ask? The first is the way they marketed to a new target audience. In the past, they were advertising to the 40 to 60-year-old market. And after assessing market trends, they realized there was a much bigger market share to be had in the younger generation. So they switched their market audience to users 18, your age, to 34, and tried to appeal to that group. That's easier said than done. When switching up the target audience like this, a company needs to completely revamp all its marketing. So maybe new prints on their bottles, new commercials, things like this. One way that Old Spice achieved it is by using a mix of marketing appeals the younger generation responds really well to. Those major two being sex symbols and humor. Why, you might be wondering, would they use a male sex symbol if their target is primarily young men? But one thing they found through their research is that 70% of male toiletry products are bought by women. So they realized they needed commercials that would respond to both men and women in this younger generation, that women would find attractive as well. By using appeals that are both male and female friendly, the new campaign saw its impressive response, allowing the video to go viral almost immediately. So as we reflect on the Old Spice man and the things that he represents, I'd like you to go through your own thinking. Sorry, I'm trying to find your agenda. There it is. Your own thinking about the Old Spice campaign and then how marketers work on you to show me what you think with the STEM. The STEM, I'll show you really quickly before I go over it, is a new construction today. It's Old Spice changed its marketing. That's your STEM. But I want you to do before, while, if statements. So let me explain that a little bit. Before, while, if statements are going to begin your sentence. So I'll give you before Old Spice changed its marketing, if Old Spice changed its marketing, while Old Spice changed its marketing. And your job is to figure out how to add a comma, where to add the comma, and how to finish a sentence. Just some words here about before, while, if statements. You can see at the very beginning of each sentence, I'm trying to craft something that's two-piece. That's what I want you to do. Before I could buy the toy, comma, I needed to get paid. While I cleaned up the kitchen, comma, my husband did the laundry. If you come tomorrow, you can cut the lawn. I'm adding a comma at the end of the phrase. How do you know where the phrase ends? It's a little easier when I give you the STEM because I'm going to basically say this is the phrase. But I think we need to get better too at understanding where it would fall completely on our own. I'll show you the trick. You'll know a comma needs to go in the middle of the sentence right before the sentence starts again. And it starts again at a subject. I, me, my, you, she. Like these are subject words. They're describing the noun. So I can see the sentence starts again here because it says I needed to get paid. This is the full, complete thought that we need to tack on to our dependent clause here. Now, it's a little confusing when I say that because you can also see, here's another sentence. I could buy the toy. That's the sentence on its own. But because the word before is there, I've made this a dependent clause. It's not a complete sentence. Before I could buy the toy. What? It's a fragment. You have to finish the sentence. The comma would be really weird to add here. Before, why do we need a break there? We don't need a break. Before is connected to this idea. Before I could buy the toy. So you're looking for those breaks. Here's more examples. Before advertisers win you over, they have to target an audience. So there's the subject starting over right there. While advertisers win you over, they need to keep you. There it is, starting again. And if advertisers win you over, they'll try to get you to refer their product. In each case, this sentence is essentially beginning over, and that's where the comma goes. Comma kind of acts like a period. Anyway, this is your STEM, or how it looks in the weekly objective stock before Old Spice changed its marketing, while Old Spice changed its marketing, and if Old Spice changed its marketing. There. So, good luck. Thanks.